Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Zombies Love Bacon podcast, episode 24. We're in lockdown, but you can just assume we're in lockdown forever. So expect podcasts to be darker than usual because everyone's losing their goddamn minds. Speaking of losing their goddamn minds, today we're joined by Shelby.
Wow, what do you mean?
And also joined by Norstar.
I like my women like I like my glasses sitting on my face.
Oh, I was going to say Foggy. And also joining us is Gravy.
I like my women how I like my cars, with a deep voice and from the late 70s.
Wait. You into 50-year-old ladies? Is there something else I'm missing?
Yeah, I'm 100% into cougars.
I didn't
feel
say
like
cougars.
Those are basically gilfs at that point.
Yeah, you're definitely...
Grandmas, yeah.
Anyway, this is how we're starting the podcast today. Recording on Saturday because the time-space continuum's all fucked because no one knows what's going on in the world.
Shelby never messaged me.
Well, that's also true. But we are, we're trying to mix things up with the podcast and try and get a few newer people on. But also, people just need to reply to their goddamn DMs. Anyway,
Isn't this like the exact same people from last episode?
No,
There's
it
been
was,
an
just,
You're
episode
here.
it
since
was just
then.
3 of us last time. The spaghetti noodles was before that.
Oh, yeah, true.
spaghetti noodles.
Gravy doesn't understand the flow of time either.
No, I don't.
No.
Time is a mental construct.
Well, hang on. Let's paint the picture for everyone. All right. Right now it's 3:30 p.m. We're half an hour late here in Australia. What time's it there, Nor?
1:29 in the morning, but I'm Eastern time, so it could be worse.
Gravy. What time you got over there?
7:30 a.m.
Considering that you were playing Splitgate for the last 2 hours, did you sleep?
Yeah, because I woke up at like 3 a.m, bro.
So yeah, we
Back
have
on his
honestly-
demon hours.
I went to sleep at 5 in the afternoon like a 6-year-old, bro.
You say that, but like
Like,
recently
you
I've been like
are
clocking off work at 4 p.m. and I'll sleep for 2 hours and then wake up and stream. My most productive time's been at like 11 p.m. at night.
He had a nap.
I have a nap. I have a nana nap.
What?
A nana nap.
What is that?
It's when old people, nanas, have naps.
I mean, do they have a specific time? Don't they just nap whenever?
That's, a nana nap. You never
Oh.
heard that?
I mean, 20 seconds ago, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy myself
How-
another hammock so I can sleep.
How
more.
long do nana naps usually last for?
Okay, I'm gonna counter your question with what's the ideal time for a nap? Like late.
3
I
hours.
don't
like,
do
like
naps.
scientifically, 3 hours is the ideal nap time.
Isn't there like a deeper science to it where like it's like what 20 minutes, an hour and a half, 3 hours, but like anything in between or over kind of just drains
Yeah,
you?
because it fucks with your circadian rhythm. So basically, you want to have one full REM cycle, ideally, and a full REM cycle takes about 3 hours. If you wake up earlier than 3 hours, you tend to wake up groggy and feeling a bit sick. Same with going over 3 hours but not reaching 6.
What if you always feel like that?
Well,
Like
then
always.
you should eat before you go
And
to
you
bed.
should probably go see a doctor.
What do you mean? No,
Well, we all know that you're a bit broken, so.
Yeah, but that's I sleep like I don't know. I don't sleep properly at all.
What is sleep?
Who? All right. Anyone here actually like sleep for 8 hours straight?
Yes.
No.
No.
I do whenever I've been awake for like fucking 3 days.
I thought you were gonna say 3 days.
If I sleep for 8 hours, I'm usually waking up at least every
There was definitely a
then going
point
back to bed.
in my life where I'd like, go to bed at like 9:30 p.m. and
Ooh.
sleep all soundly all night. And, felt really healthy. Was hitting the gym, eating healthy, so on. Yeah, horrible times.
Boomer hours, you know?
I definitely
That was when I was
have this-
younger.
I'll either sleep like I'm dead and sleep for a long period of time and not move during or anything, or I will not be able to sleep and I will shift around and get barely anything and be uncomfortable and annoying. So I'm one or
There's
the
no in
other.
between.
No in between. Last night I
I
was dead.
hate being awake at day. I hate being awake during the day for some reason. I don't even know why. So I either wake up
Hey.
super early in the morning at like 1 or 2 a.m. and then go to sleep at like 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Or I do the opposite. I go to sleep at like 9 in the morning and wake up at fucking 10
Wait,
p.m.
so if 4 is in the after, wouldn't 9 just be in the before noon?
No, it would be morning.
Yeah, but no one calls it before
before
noon.
noon.
No one calls
but
it.
it's-
No,
it's
you're not.
It's before noon.
It is
You're not
before noon,
starting.
but-
You're not starting. Yeah. So it would, when people say good morning and then
You know what?
good afternoon, they're not going to go good before noon.
No, I will.
Oh,
and I
No,
do
it's
it.
not. It's
Matt,
not.
I will start saying before noon and afternoon if you start calling it a chicken burger.
All right, well, let's just move on to the next
All right.
topic then.
I was going to say we're going to be looking for new podcast guests soon enough.
Have you guys ever used one of those apps that records you when you sleep and records any noises you make?
No.
I've used them, and I think I've gotten worse since I used them. But I definitely used to make a lot of noises, just like grumbling noises. But it also captures like if you fart in your sleep, which is really embarrassing. That's one of the reasons I deleted it.
What?
Oh look,
You're the only one that heard it.
You know what? We're on the podcast. Let's unpack this real quick because I can just say right now you don't need an app.
You're my app now. You tell me
I
what
can
I'm doing.
honestly say the time that's spent where you not making a noise is far less than you making noises.
But you never
You are-
elaborate to me what sort of noises
You
I
are the
make.
noisiest sleeper I have ever met in my
Apparently,
entire
I
life.
just go like, just like.
Constantly, and it's to the point when I know when you're asleep and when you're awake because it's like in The Simpsons where they have the everything's okay alarm. When the alarm stops, it's not okay. When the alarm stops, Shelby's awake. Literally today, I just waited till the noise stopped, and I'm like, all right, she's awake. I can get up and do stuff now.
It's so embarrassing.
So there you go.
Do I say any
Yeah,
understandable words? Like what?
yeah, but not in sentences.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
It'll be like car, dolphin, space, oranges, donkey.
Orange World?
And then I'll be like, okay.
So on a scale of like 1 to 10, how much are you regretting me moving in and sleeping next to you?
I don't sleep. I maybe sleep 20% of what I used to. Maybe.
Have you ever seen Step Brothers?
Yes.
My favorite part of that movie is when he wakes up. He's the clown has no penis.
Apparently, I was once because I used to travel a lot with like family and extended family because we were heavily into motorsports and like we stay in the cheapest hotels because we're all poor. And apparently, once I was like sleep talking like a maniac just one time, and the one thing they could make out was I just yelled out at the top of my lungs, "Chuck a lump of spaghetti on it."
What the fuck?
That was it. So yeah.
I just want to kind of like bounce it back to things you do in your sleep real quick. If I
Things-
ever like accidentally like move my arm and touch you in your sleep while I'm awake, you react in the weirdest way.
Well, hang on. Hey, there's a couple things going on here. First of all, I don't get into the deep sleep like I used to because I just can't. It just doesn't happen. And also, when you're asleep, like, all right, we're deep diving here. Right? I'm sorry, everybody. Last night you slapped me.
Oh,
So I was just laying there on my side on my 10% of the bed, and your hand just you just flopped it over and slapped me in the face. So then I pushed it back, and then you slapped me again. So I pushed it back, and then you just slapped me again. And I was convinced you were awake at this point, just fucking with me. And I'm just like, Shelby. And you go, huh?
Okay.
And I'm
Look.
like, see, it's just like you were just like, I wasn't there. And you were just slapping your hands out, but you hit me in the face. Like the cat didn't even do that. And I used to wake up with the cat putting his paw in my mouth. I mean, that's...
It's only a matter of time before you wake up with my hand in your mouth.
Pretty much.
I just want to like circle back to what I was saying though, because sometimes you're asleep, and sometimes I'm awake. If I ever I'm like rolling over and I accidentally touch you or something like that,
Yeah.
you make the most upset noise. You go.
It's because I'm constantly on defense from slapping.
You
I'm on
act like you're like a little kid who's in pain. Like
I'm on edge.
Strangest noise.
I'm on edge always.
It's the like highest pitch whine.
I honestly, if I was to be perfectly honest, I don't think I've had a sound night's sleep in like a year. Maybe even more.
We've only been dating for like 9 months, so I'm clear. That's fine. It's not
Oh,
my fault.
you're definitely a large portion.
It's
of
not
it.
my fault.
Oh.
If you go back to like last year, like in lockdown, particularly in lockdown, and where fucking world's gone to shit, mental health has gone to shit, everything's shit, right? Where let me space out my day. All right, wake up 6 a.m., go to my office and start work because I start work at 6 a.m. but I was working from home, so I was just on the laptop. And then at 3 p.m., because I started at 6, I got to finish at 3, I would turn my tear 90 degrees, log on to GTA RP, start streaming that, stream until like 11 p.m., turn off, go to the kitchen, grab some mac and cheese, come back, dev for 4 hours, and then try to go to sleep. And then half the time I would like be messaging Shelby going, everything's fucked, the world's fucked, everything's shit. And then doing that until about 4 a.m. And then I'd sleep for 2 hours and then repeat. And that was my life for most of last year in particular.
That is a fucking mood and a half. I'll be honest.
Yeah, right?
See, my life, it didn't drastically change for COVID because not a lot changed because of the fucking, so I wasn't really in lockdown. I didn't get to stay home.
Yeah.
I also didn't reap the benefits of unemployment. Like I was making triple my fucking money doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm a little salty about that. Like I worked my ass off, and like then people were like, yeah, I've just been told to go home and I get paid, $500 a week or whatever the fuck it is, $750 or something now.
For nothing.
For
You
nothing.
both work from home as well. You're like my colleague.
I'm not against it because it's not their fault and they need to live and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, well, maybe I could get some of that too, but no.
Well, I'm a creature of habit, so like I like to get into a routine of get up, go to work, have my coffee here this time, do this. When every time we go into like a lockdown or work from home or life goes to shit and you have to move house or all that shit, it just fucking writes me off. I'm like, okay, I'm still in the point where I can't figure out what I'm doing half the time.
As humans,
because I'm disruptive.
Change.
I'm disruptive to his life.
I mean, you're not. Well, yes and no, you are, because you're random as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to describe it.
Random's good.
Like
I like impulsive. Like I like hey, let's go out to dinner or let's go. But you can't do anything like that. We're literally in a house, and most of the time it's me going, "Hey, do you want to do something?" And the answer being, "Oh."
Because like there's not much you can do. It's like
but then you go poor. Then you go poor.
No, it's like we get and like it's great because like in the terms of like you've made me watch a lot more movies and a lot more TV, like more than I would do myself, which is nice because we watched The Departed. That was great. I really enjoyed that.
Great movie.
Great fucking movie.
Yes, it was.
I've been telling Shelby about The Departed for like
he's obsessed.
Yes, but the reason why, right? Grave, have you seen The Departed?
The what?
The Departed. It's a Scorsese film about basically it's about like the mafia.
Oh, does it have fucking?
It's got Leo,
DiCaprio in it.
Yeah, it's got heaps. Matt Damon and
the guy
it's one of my favorite Matt Damon.
Yeah, he plays
the guy from the Face Through the Door meme, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
called.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. So the whole premise of
that's Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Did you think it was?
What? I don't know. I didn't realize it was Jack Nicholson. I mean, the only Jack Nicholson movie I've really watched is fucking Batman.
All right, that's fair.
What about anger management?
Yeah, you also had us watch The Matrix.
No, but the point I was going to make was the reason why I've been going on about this movie in particular, because for those who haven't seen the movie, it's a very long movie, but it's basically the mafia has a mole in the cops, and the cops have a mole in the mafia, and they just play cat and mouse trying to figure out who's fucking who the whole time, right? And every time I think about that, I think that's the way that GTA RP should be. Like cloak and dagger shit, spies playing their fucking roles, and like it actually playing out in a way properly, where it never works that way because everyone just metagames the shit out of each other and then get into stress.
It's not even that everybody metagames the shit out of each other. Is that the big difference is the movie's scripted. The only reason, if you really think about it, the only reason everything that's being done works is because it's supposed to happen.
Well, okay, but in the movie, this movie in particular is why I go to it, because it's very fucking grounded in the sense that it's not like a Hollywood style where the hero is going to always win or whatever. It's literally like, it's like fucking it's like this is what would happen in real life sort of scenario. Like there's a point where they need to do a handover with the mafia boss and the guys in the police, but they don't want to get seen, right? So they go to a porno theater because no one looks at anyone in the eyes in the porno theater. But then the cop mole who's in the mafia follows them.
I do,
and like he's like following him through the street, but there's fucking noises and shit happening everywhere. So like he doesn't actually catch up to him, and the cop, the dirty cop, it's like he's onto him. He's like, fuck, someone's following me. and he gets his knife out. It's like, I'm going to stab him as he comes around the corner. And sure enough, guy comes around the corner, he stabs him. Totally wrong guy. And he's like, fuck. It's like, off they go. But, I mean, spoilers for a movie that's fucking ancient now, but you still say, but it ends the way that it kind of ends in RP anyway, which is they just fucking shoot each other, all of them. They just double cross each other on rumors and bullshit. Like
really abrupt murders, just a whole.
They literally, there's like one sentence that gets uttered, and then that guy takes it, passes on to another guy. It becomes a rumor. They all hear it. They all fucking get bent out of shape and shoot each other. That's it. That's the end of the movie. And I'm like, it's great. This is the closest thing to what RP should be. It's great. But yeah, it's a great fucking movie. Everyone plays it. Spectacular. It's one of Scorsese's best.
It's very good. We watched The Matrix. Lots of anime as well.
Have you watched Shutter Island?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
that is such an amazing movie. Oh my god,
It's
Shelby,
it's-
you need to watch
it's
that
got
movie.
a-
It's so good.
It's got a good twist.
It's so good.
So, you know, going back to The Matrix, and I always get, my mind is always blown by this, but there's a new Matrix movie coming out this year.
Is there?
This year.
Huh.
And nothing's been leaked. Nothing
I
at
don't
all
even
has been
know.
Does
leaked.
it have Keanu Reeves in it?
Yeah.
I feel like it has to, right?
Yeah, it does. They
I mean,
finished filming.
yeah,
They,
no
they
shit.
finished filming earlier this year. It's slated to come out at the end of this year. And there's
Fair.
there's nothing. There's no promotional materials. There's no leaks. Nothing. They've just kept it all to themselves. It's fucking amazing. I've
I mean, it's
never.
the Matrix.
Yeah, but like, how much shit? You know, when they go to make a Star Wars film, they're literally arresting people for flying drones into the set to take photos of shit.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like everyone just
But
let.
I mean, if you're not really advertising it, you don't know what the fuck the set is for,
I mean, it's pretty easy to tell when they're all dressed in fucking leather and sunglasses and walking around. And there's Keanu Reeves.
You know what? That's a good point. That's a really good point.
You remember the Matrix Reloaded game that they made?
Yes, I've been telling Shelby
That
about
was
it.
So good.
The Matrix did, and look, this is all up to the Wachowskis, right? They're fucking, because they're next level space brain, right? Galaxy brain people. They're like, okay, so we made the Matrix, it came out, and for those who's not familiar, right? They went to, I believe it was Warner Brothers, and they went to Warner Brothers and said, we want to make this movie. This is what it is. And Warner Brothers is like, no one's gonna understand this. Like, what is this? And they're like, oh, well, we only need a couple $100 million. And they're like, we'll give you $100 million, And they're like, well, that's not going to be enough. They're like, make do. If you want to make your movie, that's what you get. So they went and blew that entire budget on filming the first sequence in that movie that goes for like 10 minutes. They blew their entire budget. Went back to Warner Brothers and said, look at this. And Warner Brothers was like, hey, damn, that's good. All right, here's the rest of your money. And they gave them the money.
Yeah.
They made the movie, comes out, which it still holds up. The only thing that, like, and this is where it gets interesting, like, in that movie, a lot of the reliance is on the fact that they need to go from phone to phone. The internet's garbage. No one has smartphones. Like, their technology is limited. That's why that's a major plot point, is the fact that they've got to get to a landline and like, travel and all that sort of stuff. So all that shit's going to be interesting when they do it current day. But the big brain thing the Wachowskis did is they made all this money out of the popularity. They went to Warner Brothers, they gave them all this money. And then they said, okay, cool. We're going to film 2 and 3 at the same time. We're going to save money on the production there. While we're doing that, we're going to film and help produce the video game, which is going to tell the B-side story that links the 2 movies together. So you meet characters in the movies, but you play as them in the games. And like there's stuff that they talk about, like blowing up a power station, and like they just talk about it in the movie, but in the games it actually happens and they do it. And then on top of all that, they went and approached all these animation studios and did the Animatrix, which is all world building, extra animation stuff. And they just went, here we go. You like the Matrix? Here it is in every possible media that we can send out to you. If you watch it all, you'll understand everything. And it's like, yeah, it's fucking sick, because I watched the movie, I went and played the game. Games doesn't hold up now, but when I was a kid and playing it, I'm like, woohoo, look at me, I'm the Matrix.
Oh, it was a great game.
Look at me, I'm the Matrix.
There was a button to go to bullet time and run up walls. It was sick.
Look
like
at me, I'm
The
the
walls and
Matrix.
everything around you when bullets were hitting it, actually the impact's realistic.
Yeah,
It's great.
Yeah.
I was watching a video came up in my suggested of one of the Splinter Cell games.
yeah.
Which one?
And it's basically, I can't remember which one it is, and it's basically showing off how, like, even though there was a lot less detail in games back then, because the technology
mechanics
for
were
it
like
wasn't there.
ahead of their game.
Yeah, they were, because it's like he showed it off by shooting this fucking fish tank.
I
at the
saw
very
this
bottom of
one.
it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, and what would happen is it would actually behave like a fish tank. So up until the point of the water being below the hole, once the water was below the hole, it would stop flowing out.
Yeah. Did you see? Was that the
You
same video
know?
where he explains like the coding side of things and how it works?
I think so.
Yeah.
I cannot fucking remember. I
Nah,
wasn't really paying
So
attention.
basically, so instead of like how most games, you shoot a fish tank and it explodes, or if you shoot a fish
Yeah.
tank, all the water falls out of it. In this one, you shoot a fish tank halfway up, the water will drop to the hole level and then stop leaking. And that was
Shit.
Splinter Cell. That was Splinter Cell. You know, it's 2003 or something. That
Yeah.
fucking game came out.
Chaos Theory was my favorite of all of them.
Yeah, I still stand by that. We're ready for more Splinter Cell. Like that's a game that they can drop now and would take it.
Probably, yeah.
And so
I feel like
As long as they do a better job than they did with the last one.
well, unfortunately, Ubisoft seemed to be going with that. What was the shooter they announced that's going to have like Splinter Cell characters in it? It's like a games as a service model. Whatever
I've
the
got
fuck it is.
no idea. I haven't even heard about that.
Really? So they released it. It's basically it's going to
No.
be a free to play team-based shooter, so similar to like Valorant and Overwatch, that sort of shit. And they're using all the different licenses to bring all these different characters together, and it's going to be a games as a service product. Which is like it's fun, and like they've pulled a lot of like people out of the industry to make it as good a shooter as it ever can be. But the landscape of shooters at the moment is kind of weird, where the most popular and respected shooter that's out there at the moment is made by a very small dev team, where half the time you're shooting portals and not shooting, anything else. So if that's what people want to play, and then you've got fucking Call of Duty going World War II again and trying to make you pay twice as much what you should for a game. Battlefield, who are just like, everyone's just going to play multiplayer, so why bother fucking trying to tell the story anyway? Let's just make them buy as many cosmetics and drops as they can as they farm multiplayer.
Which they will.
Apex,
think
who just don't actually
the biggest
know
thing
the
is-
left hand doesn't talk to the right hand, and they haven't got a head on their shoulders.
Ooh, I'm going to talk about
The
Apex.
the biggest thing is that when games were actually good, like super good, which don't get me wrong, there's good games today as well. In this past year, there's been a lot of really good fucking games. But back then, the industry wasn't as big.
No,
So
I
people
agree.
would actually be willing to dedicate the time and stuff. Instead, now it's just become so
split,
big. It's
yeah.
no longer about making a game that the people are going to enjoy. It's about making a game that people are going to be willing to invest money into
So
and pay.
the
You know,
Ubisoft game is Tom Clancy's X Defiant, and it stars all different Tom Clancy's. So Rainbow Six characters with Splinter Cell characters, etc., etc.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the people hyped it up because they're focusing on the mechanics of the shooting, obviously. Which I'm on board for all this, and honestly, I feel like particularly Rainbow Six, and Frog's not here, so we can talk shit about it, right? But like pulling people away from the Rainbow Six, the people that treat it like a shooter and putting them into their own shooter would do that game a service. Because people that are trying to play that game as a shooter usually are the ones that are complaining when someone didn't rush in or that, and they get all toxic, and then there's team killing, and it all becomes a terrible decision. So where like the benefit always has been for Rainbow Six is the actual mechanics of the breaking, entering, and clearing the objective. So it'll be very interesting. But I actually think that the Defiant is going to be their answer to Valorant and everything else. I think Call of Duty lives in a bubble with Call of Duty and Call of Duty only. They just don't. Nothing else
Yep.
exists outside that bubble.
100%,
Pretty
100%.
much.
And
Because-
if you really think about it, you don't have people that play other games going to play COD, or COD players going to play other games. You
Yeah.
just have COD players. now, full
Honestly,
stop.
and look, I'm not trying to say, because people can play whatever they want to play. I don't really give a shit. Like, I'll play anything. I don't give a fuck, right? But there is definitely a world of a bubble. This is gamers, and then there's another bubble which is Call of Duty players who just basically play Call of Duty, and then there's another bubble of FIFA players, and they just play FIFA, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like those bubbles don't necessarily overlap. Not in a hardcore sense, anyway.
I'll be honest. FIFA kind of strikes me as that one friend we all have that has an Instagram, and every single photo on their Instagram is literally the same pose, the same face, but just a different background every time. That is literally what FIFA is. It's like uploading the same picture and just changing the filter every time you do.
I have
You
a
know.
copy
That's
of
the same for Madden.
I have a copy
Yeah.
of FIFA from like 1996. I'm good now. I don't need to buy another FIFA. It's all the same.
But it's so
Yeah,
like
literally.
I wish that like I've played FIFA. And I like the sport, soccer, football, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I like that sport. I've played it. I like the game, but I don't like FIFA, the game. Like it's just
It's
like
a money grab.
It's a money grab, and it's so like they don't put the effort into making the game enjoyable. They put the effort into making it rip money out of your pockets. And like I played Mario Strikers, which was a soccer game for Mario, and that was fucking fun as balls. It was just 3v3 Mario style thing, and it makes me think, where's our arcade soccer games where we can just play with mates and not have to get super sweaty about how we have to open 1,000 player cards to get a player that's actually pay to win fucking worth it. Anyway.
You know what game that I wish, a style of game that I wish they would just bring back and better is NBA Street.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say NBA Jam. Same sort of thing.
They did do that. They made a new one.
But it wasn't just the same as the old one.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's only so much you could do with that.
But NBA Street's the same style, in the sense that it's a game where you're just playing basketball. It's not about having a 5-star whoever fucking player shiny card thing.
Yeah,
well,
that's
to an extent, yeah, but you also have to like get better players and stuff like that. Like, I remember playing with the Yeti Snowman. It was the greatest fucking thing ever.
But yes, I don't know.
8 foot tall.
You look at, this is the thing. I look at Madden. Well, Madden, I don't know enough about Madden, but I know there's a bit of a story with like the rights and licensing and all that shit with that game. But like NBA, and like all these games that are the same game, they release it every year. The second that the next version of that game comes out, the old game's worth $2. It's like I look at that and say, this hasn't changed in so long. Do people still like it? But then also EA come out and say that like 60% of their earnings comes from FIFA Ultimate. Some ridiculous number like that. It's like, well,
yeah, because I used to play a lot of Madden, but I would only play Ultimate Team. I played from 2012 to 2017, and then I stopped because I knew that if I kept playing, I was going to keep putting money, because you can go into it with the mindset where I'm not going to drop it. And then you play against one team who has like 30 of you or just for cards. And you're like, you know what? Sure, I'll go get some legendary packs. And then you just get sucked in because you just want your team to get better faster. And it's just...
Did you see the pattern that was going around? It's probably about 3 years ago now. And it was around when Destiny 2 became part of Activision. Around that time, there was a pattern going around. And basically the way that it works is it will go, this person here has spent no money and has, all drop gear. Let's match these against only people that have spent money and has all the cool gear and make them jealous. And then basically every time they'd play a PvP match, they would scale it in a way that the person who didn't spend any money would lose.
I'm not surprised.
That's the pattern. It's like an AI to do that. And then the more you read into it, the more you see that developers do this sort of shit all the time, where they will make it so that if you are playing a game, particularly like a free-to-play game where like something like Valorant, right? They will match you against the shittest players for your first 5 games just to make sure you win and have a positive experience so you come back. And then after that, they start, putting you into the regular rotation of things. And then, or if you... if you're not spending money in the game, they'll put you up against people that spend money and have flashy skins and stuff like that. It's science.
That's how Apex
when you're
is.
being told,
Sure.
when you're being told by whoever's head of your department, right, telling you we need a game that's gonna make us money, what the fuck else are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm not.
You know?
I respect the hustle. I'm not saying, wow, they're ruining my games. I'm just like, wow, that's fucking clever.
Well, also like Apex, if you start a new account from level 1 to level 10, you're gonna more times than they put in bot lock. So you're gonna play against not even similar skilled people. You're gonna play with less than similar skilled.
Yeah,
because you already know how to play. But
and
if you're a new player, like you're still gonna be able to play good because you're not playing against good players.
Well, there was a great fucking YouTube video I watched the other day, and they're like found bots in Apex, and they literally. They were running around, and this guy was shooting terribly, and they're like, this guy's a bot for sure. And they followed him, and he'd go and he'd loot one box, and then he would just slowly walk around in sort of circles around on the edge of the zone, making his way in all the time, and he'd get stuck on walls and shit all the time. And it's like, it's a bot. It's not even a very smart bot. It's just there to be fodder that someone's going to snipe from a distance and go, ha, got him. And that's it. They're just to make a number and make someone feel like a big man. But this was something that Fortnite ran into, because Fortnite did did a survey, and I love this because this is my exact reason, right? I hate Fortnite, and I played a lot of Fortnite to begin with, and then I hated it because you would accidentally shoot in a general direction, and someone would hear that and turn into a house, and it's like, well, I hate this game, you know, at this point. And then they said that people weren't playing Fortnite because every time they joined the game, they'd get matched with all these people that haven't stopped playing Fortnite and will absolutely destroy them and they'd have a horrible experience. So I think it's like 10 games or something that you get after you've been away for however long, where you get, you know, 70% of the people in the lobby are bots. And they're not hard to beat. They look real. Like, they'll shoot at you. They won't hit you.
Confidence. They build a little bit. So the bots didn't used to build, and then they started building like
ramps. Yeah, they do. They
kind of build.
They build the like 1 ramp 3 walls things now. You see, you shoot in the general direction. Yeah. And I just remember I heard about it. I'm like, oh, interesting. I haven't played for years. So I went back and played. Dropped a 22 bomb my first game. I'm like, oh yeah, the bots are here.
It's to boost people's egos, right? That don't know any better.
Well, you go, sure. Oh, this is great. I'll have another game. Oh, great, another game. I'll buy a skin.
Yeah, this looks cool. I'll stick around. I'm pretty good at this game. Sure, it's basic marketing and it's fucking stupid.
In all fairness, I think honestly, I like to blame CS for the whole skin craze.
Oh yes, it's their fault.
If you really think about it, people didn't really give a shit about cosmetic. Like, they've always been a thing. People have always spent money in them, but it never really became big until CS capitalized on it. And there was like there's CS:GO skins that will literally sell for like as much as a fucking house.
Yeah. So you know? my housemate was like, he was mad in the CS, and like when I say mad, he would get angry playing CS. But then
I've punched through 2 monitors playing CS.
But then he's like, oh, I got this knife skin the other week. It's worth $3,500. Like, no one's gonna buy that for $3,500. Yep. And then the next week, he's like, I sold my skin for $3,500. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I brought myself 2 new graphics cards, bro. I'm like, what?
Yeah, people will buy shit.
Here I am really playing something like fucking. I was probably playing Destiny at the time. I'm like, I'm not getting paid for the shit dropping in this game. What am I doing?
I don't know if I'd blame CS for it though, because while they did and always have had a large
who did it then?
There's still a lot of people that just have never played CS in their lives and still love cosmetics.
Yeah, but they made they made the profit model
popular. You know, they made it popular.
Who else would have done it? Is what Team Fortress? Like
it's still a Valve game.
It's still Valve game. It's definitely Valve's fault then.
It's still a
Can
Valve
we agree
game.
It's Valve's fault at least?
You know, definitely is.
I think it's just the consumer's fault in general, because people can, like, the companies can do whatever they want, but people are going to buy into it no matter what they do. So,
okay, but here's the thing: if the companies don't give anything in the first place, how can it be the consumer's fault? You know.
Well, it's the consumer's fault because they're going to buy it no matter what.
I would say, I would just say that that Valve stumbled onto it first, right? They PC gamers are the real people who are to blame here, right? And CS:GO, Team Fortress, those sort of games were the ones who are like, hey, we can give you these skins, and people go wild for it. And then I think probably outside of that, like PUBG was the sort of the next game that was like, oh, you can get a girl's skirt and you can wear it, and that's going to be $3,000 or whatever the fuck it was for the longest time. And then you sell it on the marketplace and Steam Marketplace. Like, I remember buying games just from my drops playing PUBG. I'm like, this is wild. This is like, fuck it. This is like cryptocurrency before cryptocurrency was a thing.
Yeah, I used to gamble with my CS:GO skins.
I literally used to do the same.
I did it all the time, and then
and then further to that, just the skins microtransactions. I blame Overwatch for that, because they were the first ones that put them everywhere. We're like, look at all these new skins. They're like, but does that change anything? No, but also buy them.
Yeah.
Well, if we're basing it off that, then Epic is the reason to blame for battle passes. Cause
yes, they are.
Now every game.
Yeah, they literally are. But fucking Clash Royale, a stupid fucking mobile game. Well, all you do is drag and drop troops and try and break somebody else's fucking tower.
Stop
has
playing
a pass.
Stop playing it.
Okay, it literally has a pass.
Yeah,
like,
but even Sea of Thieves had a pass, and they brought it out with stuff that people already had. Like people that was free in the shops. Like people that bought stuff in the shops, and they're like, "Oh, Battle Pass coming soon." They brought it out. And it's like, this is all the stuff we already paid you for. Yeah. They're like, "Got ya, gotcha, bitch." But yeah,
how everyone can have it.
Epic. What they did, Fortnite was the brains for the longest time. And I'm sorry, I'm going to trigger Norstar, but they did that, and everyone was copying them. Like PUBG was copying them hard. And then Apex came out and they put in the ping system and they put in the respawn system. And Fortnite jumped into that and took that straight away.
Oh, yeah, they did. They hopped right on that train.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, someone else is doing something cool. Well, we can just do it too. And like that, and honestly, that's like the ping system. Ping system is a godsend. That should be in every game, particularly when you're playing like shooter, looter kind of games and all that sort of stuff. Just being able to ping something quickly and then continue about your business.
It triggers me though, because people, they see that and they use it as a way to not have to use their mic and actually communicate when they should.
They should be communicating elsewhere. Like they should be like talking about where the enemy is or what their movement is while pinging.
Don't.
While pinging, though. Like they should do both.
I remember when Apex came out and it was the biggest complaint, and it kind of still is because people still don't do it, is like you would get in a game and you'd be solo queuing and nobody would talk. Nobody would call out anything. Nobody would speak whatsoever. Like I remember my roommate mods for a couple of partners, and one guy that he always plays CS, but he was trying out Apex, and every time he would just get triggered because he would try to talk to people and no talk. They actually had this clip where he's just like losing his mind and starts screaming at the top of his lungs, just wanting one teammate to talk to him.
Well, for the longest time on PlayStation, we didn't even have party chat, so you had to be in public lobbies. So at least now, it's most of the time it's that they're in Discord or they're in a party. It's just talk to us, help.
Do you think the kids nowadays would survive in a COD for open lobby?
Oh no,
you were forced to have to talk because you couldn't be in party chat.
No, because like the stuff that they used to hear in those lobbies, like I would never stream in those open lobbies.
There was no filters.
There was no filters. Not only that, people only had the little bloody Bluetooth mic thing that they stick in their ear anyway, and everything sounded like they were talking through a freaking 6 mile pipe down a freaking fan. It's like it was disgusting. I just want to draw your attention to something, because this hasn't changed and they haven't done anything about it. But the Nintendo Switch, which is one of the leading consoles, best-selling consoles of all time, has an online functionality, which Nintendo's always been about on, but you pay a subscription to be online, does not have voice functionality at all. You cannot get into a party chat. There's no in-game chat, none of it. And they do that for the reason that you just said, that they don't want their kids going into an open lobby and talking to other people. And it's a family concept.
Hello. Do you guys like my Modern Warfare 2 mic? Hello?
Oh my god, I was gonna say, what happened?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's horrible. Stop it.
This thing on.
Stop it.
We can you can just clip that out, right?
Yeah. Put a voice changer on it.
Hold on, we can make this worse. I just want to.
No.
Then he's gonna turn his Morta voice on.
Cool.
All right, fix it. We're recording a podcast.
Hell yeah. Oh hell yeah.
So,
hell yeah.
What is happening here?
Considering we spoke about the Matrix, we should just keep it like this and just say this podcast was recorded in 2001.
I mean, it'll be just a mixtape at that point.
From a loading lobby in COD. Got it.
We recorded it on an IBM computer.
So, so I just want to. So obviously, you can't be a console. You can't be a gaming system in the year 2021 and not have voice. So this is going to trigger everybody. Do you know how to use voice chat on the Switch? Because they offered a solution. Shelby, do you know you have a Switch?
You have to have an app on your phone.
You have to talk on the phone.
Okay.
So you're playing the Switch, and then you have to get your mobile phone out, get into the app, and use your phone to talk to other people. You literally need to call the other people in your games.
That is so dumb. That is so dumb.
All over again.
It's the worst.
Literally.
It's the worst. And
speaking of that, you've played Apex on the Switch, right?
Yeah. I got my 7 frames.
Okay.
It's, you know what? When they said it was coming to the Switch, I said, how? So
it barely runs on every other platform.
It's a resource hog on PC. That's why most of the time I play on PlayStation, because most of the time I want to play it, I want to stream it as well. And it's like, if I play it on PC, I have to drop everything down low and I have to watch my CPU and watch my frames. And as you know, Norstar, every time they update the game, they fuck something. So it's
like when I reinstalled it recently, and I hopped into the firing range and then uninstalled. So for the first 10 minutes of having it loaded up, it still did the thing where I'm just sitting at a high CPU for the game until it settles. And I'm just like, okay, nothing's changed. All right, delete.
Yeah, it's and like we were playing Age of Empires the other day. We couldn't figure out, we're getting major lag and we couldn't figure out what was going on. But there's actually the longer you play that game, and anyone who plays Age of Empires, it's never for less than 6 hours. It's got like a memory leak. So by the time we've been playing for like 12 hours, it was using like 7 gig of memory. And it was just, that was the lag that we were experiencing, was it was just getting piled up and we just had to close and restart the game. I'm like, it's shit like that makes me really concerned when I want to stream a PC game. But like Rainbow Six, Apex, Modern Warfare, or like any of the Call of Duty stuff like that, are those sort of games, those big, chunky, fat games, I just go, if I can play it on console, I'm going to play it on console, just for that consistency and no other reason. I think
of console, I contemplated earlier to buy an Xbox just so I can go play Black Ops 3 on Xbox one more time.
I will say, and I'm going to go on the record, even though I traded mine in to buy my PS5, but the Xbox One S, the little white thing, is value for money. That is a great console. That is still a great console. And
the One X is better.
I mean, the One X is, yeah, but it's more expensive. I'm saying, like, for a One S, that is a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray player that can play any game that comes out on the Xbox, Game Pass game, everything for as cheap as chips. That is the cheapest you'll ever get one of those things. And
remember when the One X came out? It was like a 64-bit console. It was faster than any other console.
It had a big teraflop. That's what I remember.
So, in Black Ops 3, I don't know if you know this, if you had a One X, you would, at the start, on Search and Destroy, the first round, if no one else in the lobby had a One X, you would be the first person to load in.
Yep.
And on Nuketown, I can spawn and get to their spawn before anyone.
There was a game, I can't remember what it was, but I was watching this documentary thing the other day, and I was talking about like weird facts about this game. Fuck, I can't remember what it was. But they were like, there's games that are on the One X or Series X that are broken now because the way they were coded was on the frame. So it's like you need to press this QuickTime event needs to be pressed on the 17th frame or something like that. But now they've been up-spec'd to 60 frames a second. What used to last for like 2 seconds now lasts for 0.1 seconds. So there's like QuickTime events that people can't do and they can't finish these games anymore because they're too fast. Too fast now because
just imagine.
Oh my god, my graphics are too good. I got too many frames.
That was a problem. Like on Modern Warfare when it first came out, I was playing with my cousin who was still on console, and there was a problem with the game that would overheat like the power supply on Xboxes, so he would have to constantly keep a fan. Otherwise, this console would just shut off. I was like, this is great, but it was only for the One X.
Yeah, I honestly, I'd pick up an Xbox to go back and play Black Ops 2, but. From what I'm hearing, no matter what you play on, it's just full of hackers and shit now. So GG.
Pretty much.
Old game at this point.
So you know that link to that tweet you put in.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Okay. I want to see. The thing is, that reminds me of Homescapes. Do you know that mobile game?
No.
Okay, it's basically literally just a puzzle game, right? And you finish puzzles and you get points to upgrade your house, right? I think, because I didn't play it that much.
It's just like a normal...
The ads for it are literally everything but what is in the game.
They have to make them as spicy as possible. So I know what you're talking about, because there's been other games like that as well where they've done like pregnancy plot lines, but she's pregnant, but then her boyfriend cheats on her, and that's the ad for the game. But then you download the game and she's just doing puzzles. All
right. Well, let me. Yeah, exactly. And it's a fad at the moment where people will be like, "This is the trailer and this is the game," and people will be like, "What the fuck?" But it's like I can't remember. There's not Clash of Clans. There's something else that was like a.
Wait.
It had. What was the fucking? There was a celebrity who's got the huge knockers, and she was like on all these mobile games about something. And then when you play the game, it's like nothing to do with anything at all, really. I think might have been Kate Upton, maybe. I think it was Kate Upton. It was
sounds like something Kate Upton would do.
And yeah, but
I'm scrolling through this tweet, and if you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about. Where the hand is
Game of War. That was what she's like the only ads for Game of War.
Was it like the sexy elf ladies and like the sexy?
Yes.
And they're always like, "Help me, save me," and it's just like scantily clad.
Like I'm just dropping pictures in the chat, right? This is what you see.
Yeah, I know.
And you're like,
exactly.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's so that like it's just everywhere, and you're like, wow, what's this game where they just have this fucking broad, just in a white dress and huge knockers, just run around, fucking. What is this game? And then you'd see what the actual
just
game.
A point and click.
It's not even.
Because sex sells.
Yeah, I mean it does. All right, so I'm gonna post. You see those? That's the hot chick. Yeah, hot chick. Yep. And there's
Agreed.
the game coming. There it
What?
is. Oh.
That's not even remotely the same.
It looks like Sim Town.
It does.
Literally.
So anyway, so going back to
Great things come out of stuff like this, though.
yeah, right. So
Fuck.
so I got let me all right. So I'm gonna describe what this trailer is, right? So it's like it looks like there's a girl. I don't want to say she's in a wedding dress, but she's in a white dress, and she comes home and her house is burnt down, right? And then the first thing that happens after that is she gets a phone call from grandma. Grandma's like, "Oh, it's okay, everything's gonna be fine." And then she gives her the keys to a house that's like overgrown and run down. I don't know anything else. And then at this point, they're like, I think they assume that someone died in the house fire, because then she puts her locket away and then cleans the house and makes the house pretty. And like a strong independent woman now, you can fix her own house. And there's this whole montage of her fixing a house. And then all of a sudden the cops turn up, arrest grandma. And then grandma like puts her hand on the car window as it leaves. And on the hand is written, he is alive. and this is a trailer too. What's the game called? Something Mansion?
Something like that.
And like, I guarantee you the game's nothing to do with any of that. I have no idea. Like, people would have just listened to what I just said and zoned out, because it makes no sense.
Yeah, there's no correlation to it.
Speaking of making no sense, Shelby, what the fuck did you just post?
That's a legitimate ad from Episode, which is
Yeah,
notorious
it
for
is.
weird ads as well for a mobile game. So I've
I'm
played
so
Episode.
lonely right now. Call
hang
your
on.
boyfriend or make love to you.
Let me elaborate. I've played Episode.
Wait, I just read the second one. Does that say make love to the cat?
That's
It
what
does.
says.
Yes.
Or call the boyfriend?
Don't
Episode
you even
for
think
the-
about touching
Pick the
shit.
second one.
Hey guys, let me just get this out. Episode, for the people who are listening, is like it's a story-based choose your own adventure kind of game, but anybody in the world can make an episode story and post it on there. And people spend money to get premium options for responding to conversations and stuff. But the ads are all like, "Oh, I'm pregnant, but I've never had sex. Oh, I didn't wash my underwear. Oh no, take your underwear off." Like strange stuff. And this one, of course, kick the baby back, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's always really like confrontational things. But there's also one called Choices. Choices was actually a visual novel game, and the stories were actually decent. But you would play the stories, but then you would see the ads, and it's completely different. Like, it would put the characters in the same sort of situations as the episode ads. Like, so and so is cheating on so and so. What are your choices? Your choices are to like break them up or like fight him, like fist fight him.
The one that I keep seeing comes up particularly on I think like Instagram and stuff like that, is the ugly chick, and then she'll like see the ex-boyfriend with a cute girl, and then it's like, fix your girl, and it tries to like fix her up, and then like half the time it'll be like, get a haircut, and gives her a haircut, she goes bald and goes ow. I'm like, what is this? Who was this? Who was the target audience that looks at this and go, damn, that's the game that's my game of the year right there. Like, what why?
Now
Why?
Chat is just filled with a bunch of stuff that
We
I'm
can
not
also
really sure.
we can also look at the ones like that show like a puzzle, and it's like, you're not smart enough to figure out this puzzle, and like
And it's
somebody
the most
plays through the
obvious
puzzle, and
puzzle ever.
obviously they fail when they attempt it. But then like, this is one of the advertisements. It's like, save this guy from getting.
Yeah, that's
getting out of it.
Homescapes right now, I'm pretty sure.
It's Gardenscapes.
Yeah, that's the home. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gardenscapes.
Okay,
so it's a puzzle game about a garden.
all right, so I want to talk about something. All right, let's go back to the Kate Upton thing.
Right.
All right, because Kate Upton is not cheap, and let's face it. If Norstar, if I came to your house and I said, can you be the poster child for Clash of Clans? And you'll be like, how much? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I'll be like, I'm going to give you $1
actually.
million to be poster child of Clash of Clans. You in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, but you can imagine Kate Upton's, she's a little bit more attractive than you are, Norstar. I'm just trying to put that out there.
Just a little bit.
Just
not
a little
whole
bit.
lot.
All right. So she's probably a little bit more
Right.
million. Okay.
That's a lie.
All right. Without Googling anything, how much money did Game of War make? How much?
$2.612 million.
All right. Next guess.
What's the question?
Game of War. So the Kate Upton game. How much money do you reckon that made
In
6
like
million.
what time frame?
in like the last 5 years?
Probably like 200 million.
Okay. All right. How much did you say, Shelby?
6 million, 60 million.
All right. So if we combined all your guesses together and then times it by a couple thousand, you'd get close to the $2.8 billion it made.
Oh.
Jesus fucking Christ. That's fucking ridiculous.
Let's
I'll be honest.
So, Norstar, we're making a game. You're on the poster.
Shelby, that last ad
Yeah.
you posted literally looks like something you'd see on fucking Pornhub.
Okay,
I'll be
I
honest.
just want to follow up. Ebony was before the ones that Aladi's talking about. Like it was a Facebook game. That's how old this is. And I remember these ads very distinctly coming up on like every website, and like it gets worse, and it definitely gets worse. There's one of them that they slowly stripped her over time to see, maybe to see how many clicks each one.
I mean, they did the same thing to Kate Upton.
Ebony was basically, and like, okay, look at the pictures and tell me what you think Ebony was.
It was probably some point and click.
I would like to say it's like maybe a dating simulator set in medieval times.
It was like Age of Empires.
Oh really? Pog? When are we doing? Let's do a stream. Let's go.
They basically they stole a lot of assets from Age of Empires too. I don't know if the actual gameplay with like Age of Empires. I think it was, but yeah, they stole content from
Ebony still to this day makes about $100,000 a month.
I hate it. Apparently they've changed their branding though, and actually like they have legitimate art and stuff now, which is
it is listed as a strategy game, and it is 300 megabytes.
Definitely a strategy there.
It's definitely, and there's a couple. Sorry, there is a couple of King's Revenge is another one. So Ebony King's Revenge.
Yeah,
wait, so when am I getting my $1 million?
This is the
when I make the game, bro.
Wait, the Clash of Clans is already made. Damn it.
Well, let's hang on.
Have you seen?
I still play Clash of Clans.
Have you seen?
I do too when I'm really bored.
Have you seen the game that's like the Chinese one where it's got two girls walking next to each other? It's just like,
is there one cup?
No, shut up. It's basically two girls from like ancient China walking next to each other, and you're sisters, and you're being introduced to the emperor, and you're like, she basically like goes, oh, I want to be a concubine to the emperor, and like has to advance to this level and whatnot. And like one of the sisters like pushes the other one over in front of the prince, and it's this whole thing, a whole narrative thing that apparently it's big in China.
So, and China loves mobile games.
Yes.
So where Game of War made what 2.7 in 5 years, $1 billion. Clash of Clans made 1.6 billion last year alone. One
I'll be honest
year.
though, Clash of Clans is very old because I remember playing it in middle school now. No, sorry, in high school. That wasn't fucking ages ago, but it was at least 4 years ago now.
Yeah, it's been out since 2012 or 2013, something like that.
When I was playing that game, literally every single person in my fucking school was playing that game as well. That was kind of like the boom of mobile games. I love how I'm having this conversation while playing a game of Clash Royale on my phone.
Oh yeah, no, we should definitely get some earnings or some revenue out of this.
Can I get some?
But it's definitely like it's just easy, It's something everybody can play, and it's something that really isn't hard to make money on.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say with mobile games, and I met with I can't remember the name of that studio. They're a Brisbane-based studio here in Australia. We made Fruit Ninja. Fruit Ninja, Half Brick. So I met them at PAX one year, and they did a panel and stuff, and we were talking about they were launching a new game, stuff like that. They said that the amount of games or concepts that they would go through that just don't make it for the largest part versus when they do make it, they just go crazy. Like the difference between making a few $100 and making $1 million is like that it doesn't. There's no in between for a lot of these gaming sort of stuff. So as much as like we're not hating on mobile games. We're hating on the misleading marketing, but that everyone just sort of accepts. But
which there's a lot of.
But at the end of the day, it's the hustle of getting people into their game and playing it so they can make what they can, because there is millions of games that get added to all the app stores and everything else all the fucking time, and you got to get out there somehow. So that's why, and like it was a meme for the longest time. But you guys remember like level 1 thug and then level 99 gangster, and that's how Mafia works. Yeah, that was deliberately so fucking cringy because they needed that to get in your brain, and it worked. I'm sure they made gazillions of dollars and paid for that. Versus if they came out
the
and
worst
said,
part
this is
is-
what the game is, and did it like a trailer or something like that, no one would have fucking paid attention to that.
The reason a good portion of people knew about that wasn't necessarily because of the ads. It was because people were making memes from it. It was becoming stupidly popular as a joke, but
Yeah.
then through that, it would get attention, and then the people that would actually play a
Yes.
game like that ended up on
Seeing
it.
it,
You know,
And then, like, if people laugh at it and they click like, it shows it to all their friends, and then it becomes their, the algorithm likes it. It's the same thing, and we had this conversation on the podcast with the last Fast and Furious movie. Like, was that meme, the whole family meme, was that like a meme that came from the community, or was that some big brain marketing scheme?
Could go either way.
Could be either.
I would love for it to be the second one where it's a marketing scheme.
It can be.
But it's
Why couldn't it
very
be?
unlikely.
Why couldn't
It's
it be?
very unlikely. I'll be honest, every single one of these ads that have been posted that I'm looking at, they just remind me of this, and I just really can't help but laugh. You know?
Yeah. The you won't last 5 minutes playing this.
Yeah, you won't last 5 minutes playing this game, and it's like...
And then you click it, and it takes you to
Why,
Clash of
you know?
Clans. And it's like,
Yeah, and
it's like,
it's the
goddamn,
Clash of Clans.
got
It's
me.
like,
Or it immediately takes you to a
They're
website
dumb.
that straight away it goes, put in your credit card information.
I just like to
please."
point out that
Yeah,
Shelby knows so many of
either or.
these. I think she's clicked a lot of them.
Yes.
she probably... I'll be
Alright,
honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if Shelby
Just
has
been
played
around
half
on the
these
internet a
games.
bit.
Shelby, did you used to
Uh-huh,
play
uh-huh.
like Newgrounds games, like dress up fucking games and stuff like that, like Flash games?
Next question.
Next
Yeah.
question. she
Next
says.
question.
Oh.
All right. Thanks, New South Wales.
Rightio.
Dodged that bullet, didn't you? It's a. Next question.
Fucking hell.
It's a,
Yeah.
I,
There's,
like
there's a website that's still popular called dolldivine.com where you just dress up characters and a lot of adults still play.
that's not self-criminating to admit at all. It's
But also, what about Pick Crew? Everyone uses Pick Crew these days to make avatars.
I don't know what that is.
That's that avatar
don't.
making website. Pick Crew.
But that's a little bit different, though, you know?
No, it's the same.
Is it, though?
It's not Barbie dress up from 2004 on my old IBM computer.
Yeah, exactly.
Different.
I used to play Stick Death a lot. Anyone play that? It's just stick figures, Smash Brothers, basically. Used
I
to
was
play
busy
that.
playing
That's
That
Adventure Quest.
sounds familiar.
Yeah. And then we in high school we played, I think it was called Lerox or something like that. It was basically worms, but it wasn't turn based. So you just running around shooting each other as worms. And we used to
You
play
know
that
what game
flat
I
out.
got a lot of enjoyment out of as a child, and it was just so simple? Paperboy.
Paperboy's great.
I love that game.
That's therapeutic almost, because you
Like,
just fucking just when you
I
nail the
remember,
perfect drop one after another.
Yeah, I remember I had a copy of it on my Xbox 360. Though.
Yeah, that's a
Great.
that. No, I was just gonna say the ad for Paperboy would be this huge knockers chick hanging out there, barely wearing anything. It's like, hey, you wouldn't be able to deliver this paper, would you?
No. The ad is just this guy throwing a fucking newspaper at her, and she just catches it with her tits.
All right, so
that's-
anyone looking to launch your mobile game or whatever, you got a marketing team right here. We're ready to go.
Yes, we are ready as fuck.
It's there's huge money in it though, and that's the reason. That's the reason why Game of War was always the thing that I saw, and I was like, the fuck, because they made so much money, and then and I don't just having the ads made no sense to anything. That's the thing that always got me. Like absolutely no sense to the game. But then people play the game and play it all the time. It's like I'm gonna fucking trigger some people here. It's like Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow.
Raid Shadow Legends. The cell and like they to be fair,
Wait, what game?
Raid Shadow Legends. All right.
What game is that?
Shut up. Now, to be fair,
Wait, what game is it?
to
I'm
be
dead
fair,
serious.
I will punch you. All right?
Oh, is it that turn-based RPG? In case you've been living under a rock, and you've never heard of it, it's that turn-based RPG.
We're not
game.
sponsored by them, so
It
I'm
is
not saying their
crazy
name
popular.
anymore. All right, but
Oh.
but the thing is that they don't try and say to you, "Hey, hot chicks riding horses is what you're going to be playing." They kind of the game. What the words that they're using does describe the game. It's
Yeah,
just
true.
it just oversells it.
It's just everywhere as well.
It's like telling you that you're getting this brand new Toyota that does all these amazing things, and then when you get to it, it's brand new because it's been sitting in a warehouse since it came over from fucking China in 1980, and no one's driven it yet. It's like it's a fucking
Japan.
lemon, whatever. It's
But
it's,
yeah.
it's 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 like the wording's misleading, but they're just leaving parts out of it. But that game's garbage.
Yeah.
Like I played it as a meme, and it's garbage. And not only is it garbage, it like literally is like a guy. It's like you walk into a room and it's you and this one other person, and he's like, "Hey, you want to play this game?" And you're like, "Yeah." And then you start playing. He's like, "You want to buy something?" I'm like, "Nah." He's like, "You sure?" "Yeah, I don't want to buy it." He's like, "You sure?" "Yeah, you can buy it." I'm like, "No, I don't want to." He's like, "You should buy it." It's like, "No, I don't want to." He's like, "Buy it." I'm like, "No, I don't want to." That's literally what that game is. That's the true game is how quick you can deny all the pop-ups so that you don't accidentally buy something. So it's god awful. But then they spend so much money on their marketing. That's the thing. Like the marketing is ridiculous.
You could play as Ninja now.
How much do you reckon Ninja got paid?
Oh, he made a pretty penny.
Oh my god! Do
you know what was a surprisingly good game we played this year?
What?
Rogue Company. Was it this year or last year that we played Rogue Company? It was last year.
Yeah.
This year or last year?
Yeah, it was this year.
2020 or 2021?
No, it was last year. 2020.
It was 2020.
It was at the end.
Yeah, because it was.
Yeah,
but it was after Bliss got shut down, innit?
Yeah, it was around the time. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that was an actual game that was just, although it had a lot of like fucking buy this, buy that, do this, do that, spend money here, stupid ad, whatever the fuck. It was still a fun game.
I mean, they
with that was it's if you have people to play it with, it's good. If you're solo queuing, it is a horrible experience.
Shit. Yeah.
It's they're still adding content to that game. Like
they are
keeping it going. So you know.
We played it again recently. Well, at least my friend Miles.
So I went to look up how much Ninja got paid for the fucking Raid Shadow Legends things, right? And this article doesn't say it in there, so it's false advertising to begin with to make me click it. But it does say Ninja, best known for refusing to stream with women and using racial slurs while streaming.
He plays with women now, but he didn't used to.
But I'm like, imagine that's your claim to fame. That's line number 1 on this article. Yikes!
People only remember the bad stuff.
So anyway, but what I did look up is how much Kate Upton got paid for Game of War.
Oh.
$40 million per ad.
And you only offered me one?
Yeah, and you took it, you sucker.
Still $1 million for return.
Imagine. She'd be like, game of what? It doesn't even matter. It's just doesn't even matter.
That's a lot of dollary dues just to have your picture taken.
Must be nice. I'd do it for $1,000.
We've already established that there's not a lot we wouldn't do for $20.
I'd do it for a couch.
Yeah. Wait, do you not have a couch at the moment?
I have a couch that fits me and me alone.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a chair.
Our situation.
That does sound like a chair.
Our situation generally is one person sits on a couch, the other person sits on an air mattress on the floor.
That's the most comfortable way to watch.
So
I like to lay down. If I lay down on my couch, then my couch is only the size
of the love seat.
It's only 1.5 meters across, so it's like 4
We both have big asses.
You can't even lay down on it.
I can't lay down on it. The main reason why we got an air mattress is because Shelby was sick, and I was like, I have to sleep in the other room so I don't catch the diseases. And I'm like, I can't sleep on the couch. I just can't because the couch is too fucking small. So yeah, I need to get a couch. I mean, that's I suppose that's the difference from going from living alone to living with someone else. Everything needs to suit 2 people from now on.
Yeah, I'm in a corner.
And then you add a cat to the mix. And it's like, bruh, bitch ass cat.
It's definitely a very small apartment that makes the lockdown feel extra.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Just put mirrors everywhere.
Why would that help?
Because
you can see your sadness in multiple angles.
It makes everything look bigger.
My desk is only 1 meter wide.
Yeah, it's honestly, if they came out, this is not even a joke, but if they come out and they said, COVID's fucked us, vaccinations, just whatever, we're going to be in lockdown for 6+ months, maybe more, right?
We'd move to the country?
No, because I wouldn't, because there's even more challenges once you get away from the city. Like I said, we're in a well-to-do suburb. We're pretty fucking set up to bunker down, right? But what I would say is I would take what is the living area / lounge area. I would make that probably the bedroom even. Like I would just give up all hope of entertaining people in our house and living like a normal human being and just go, the space that I spend the most time of gets the most space in the house now. and take you out of the corner and give you the bedroom, put the bed in front of the TV and just fucking sleep out here. Like, I'll just give up, you know? It'll
Let's
literally
go. I'm keen.
go to the point of going, outside world is just not for us anymore. We're just going to be living in here like hermits.
I'll be honest, I really don't get the big deal with lockdown. Yet again, I haven't actively done anything that involves me being outside for the past almost 3 years now.
Yeah, it's yes. Like, and for a little bit, it's fine. Like I said, most of last year, I was just living in my house and I was in my own little bubble. It's fine. But when you do it for a long time, and it's been a while since I've been to a pub, you know, it's been a while since, like, we can't go to the movies and watch the movies that are coming out. Like, I would really want to go see, you know, Suicide Squad and stuff like that. I can't watch it. We don't have HBO Max. We can't even watch stuff that are going to HBO Max instead of the cinemas. Like, we just don't get that anymore. Like, the only places we can go and buy food from is, like, the supermarket. And even then, you can't eat out in public. Like, you can't sit and eat anywhere. You have to go home immediately. We have a curfew at night. You can't go out at night.
I've reached a point where I get like mad anxiety even going to the shops, even if I'm allowed to.
Like I would say, like I said, we're well off because like I went to the shops this morning. I went across the road. There's only a few hundred people there. Everyone was wearing a mask. There's, you know, people QR scanning. Everyone's doing the right thing. It was great, right? Everyone was getting their food and getting the fuck out of there, doing the right thing. But then, like, you look at rural Victoria, that might mean that because they had all the lockdowns and everything else, that maybe they didn't get the bread that was coming this week, and now they have no bread, you know?
Yeah.
It's to get to that point. And to your point, like, you're in Italy, where you're like, they can't do lockdowns because if people don't work, they starve to death because they're so poor.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is, all right, I'm going to get fucking, this is where Australia's fucked because our attitudes.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, our attitude's so fucked that Gravy says, we can't do lockdowns because we'll starve to death, right? Right now, there's thousands of people in the streets protesting our lockdowns here because they don't believe that they should have to wear a mask. Even though they could go home and watch Netflix and gorge Uber Eats and get paid by the government.
Which is what they would be doing anyway, let's be real.
But they're getting paid as well. They're getting paid to stay home.
They're in an extremely privileged position compared to a lot of people in the world.
If I said to you, you just have to stay home 100%. And not go anywhere, and I'll give you $450 a week. Are you going to go protest that because that's your freedoms?
No, fuck no.
Right? What?
No, fuck no. Especially where I live in a country where the total cases are something stupid. Like, I think we're like almost over 4 million, if not well over 4 million already, I think. I can't remember. I haven't really been keeping up with it.
I've talked about it, how these people, a lot of them, and I've kind of realized it in socializing with normal people through work now, people don't have hobbies at home. Why don't people have hobbies and interests that they engage in at home aside from like watching TV? These people are fucking bored.
Yeah, they're bored, but it's also
go order some pencils off the internet. I don't know.
Yeah, but the difference is so the difference is that there's some countries they're bored, so all they get to do is sit in their dark cave and play with rocks because they can't really afford, you know, TVs and stuff.
Yeah.
Versus go home and watch your 75-inch plasma surround sound TV or play your PS5 while watching Netflix and ordering McDonald's delivered to your fucking door. You're going to protest? The privilege is off the rails. It's unbelievable.
I 100% agree. I just mean those people who are protesting, maybe they just need to get a hobby.
They're dumb. They are
they're
legitimately dumb. Stupid people. Like, they are legitimately stupid people. And you only have to look at like Twitter or Reddit or a lot of these. You look at so let's say if you look at Twitter, the majority of the messaging that you would see for people that have a lot of friends around in Australian towns or whatever at the moment is, what a pack of fucking wankers, right? And a lot of them are like, if you are going to the protest, please calmly go die. You know, that's the messaging that we've got on Twitter. But then you switch to say Instagram or Facebook, there's live feeds going, we are not sheep. Let us free. Yeah.
It's cabin fever.
There was a guy. I'm not even making this up. All right. Because like, I'm like, I want to see what the fuck's going on. So you all I have to go is go to TikTok, click live, and it's half a dozen people streaming it live straight away. There was a guy who had a massive sign and he looked like he was about fucking 16. And this huge sign said, show me Delta and I'll show you mine.
What does that that even mean?
What does it even mean?
Wait, what?
Nobody knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Well, we're talking about it on a podcast, aren't we? I guess we'll get the reaction he wants.
It's how stupid
guess.
you are.
Nah, I think that's great.
Well, I made a tweet. I said, look, they're breaking the law. They're doing the wrong thing. Everyone else are going and saying doing the right thing. So let's rob them of all their money and spread it out to all the people that are.
Let's fine all of them.
Fine
5K.
all of them. Because
I just
I don't want to go, like, I don't want to talk about this forever, but like, all right, so Gravy, to give you an idea of what we're currently dealing with is there's one state where Sydney is, New South Wales, who basically shot themselves in the foot because they were too busy jerking themselves off to notice that they were sinking in shit, right? That's the picture.
Right,
literally, right? So they went from having like 10 cases to they've got 800 and something cases today. Right.
Yeah,
so,
and they've gone back into lockdown for what was it? 6 days, 10 days?
No,
7 days?
it's like 3 weeks now. Now they keep saying, "Oh, we'll open up next week," and then the numbers just keep doubling, and they're like, "Well, it's probably going to be more like the end of October now."
Just to give people a little bit of context who are listening as well. Prior to today's numbers, the highest number recorded in any Australian state for COVID up until this point was 733, and that was for Victoria ages ago.
Yeah.
Sydney today breached 800. I think it was 800.
Yeah, and I mean, the irony here is that we went into lockdown earlier this year because the numbers were getting up a little bit. But we spent most of last year in lockdown. And in that process, Sydney's like, we're never going to lockdown because we know what we're doing. Because Melbourne don't know. That's why they're in lockdown. Right? We're the gold standard, and Melbourne's dumb. And now they've got 800 plus cases, and we're like, well, you guys were just lucky. It's not that you're gold standard. You were lucky till now. And now you're fucked. So with all that context placed into it, a couple cases popped up in Melbourne, and they went, "Oh, all right, we're going into lockdown because this looks bad because we didn't even see these cases coming. They just popped up, right? So who knows how bad it is?" Went in the lockdown, and they said to everyone, you can't travel more than 5 k's from your home. You can only travel for work. You can only travel to get food. Stay home. Don't go out. Don't do dumb shit, right? So then, there's a bit to unpack here. So then, group of people. 69 people, to be exact, decided to have an engagement party. They invited COVID along to their engagement party. And then someone at that party filmed the engagement party.
The mother of the groom, apparently, put it on Facebook.
They were filmed laughing about, haha, stupid lockdown.
This is allowed because it's group therapy.
Fine.
Everyone laughs.
And then it turns out they were not only breaking the rules, they had COVID at the party. Were infecting. I think they infected 14 people in total.
Yikes, dude.
Then, no, it gets better. Then they find out that 2 of the people there were doctors that should fucking know better. So then the government came out, and this is our state government, literally came out and said, it's shitty. Like, he just swearing on TV at this point. He's like, he was fucking fuming.
Is that normal for Australia?
No, we don't swear. Not swearing. They got to play nice still. Anyway, fined everyone. There's like $350,000 worth of fines to that party, plus the 14 people, plus the medical boards reviewing the 2 doctors that were there being dumb fucking idiots at this point.
Getting review bombed on Google real hard.
Getting review bombed, people finding out who they are, tracking them down, wishing them fucking everything. Because what happened was this party came out, and then they're like, okay, well, the numbers are definitely going up. So, guys, we're going into lockdown for another 2 weeks at least because one guy decided to have a party.
Yeah.
And it's like, bruh.
But you say that, but the thing is, in a pandemic like this, one guy having a party can make a huge fucking difference.
Yeah. Well, it did. It gave us 2 more weeks of lockdown. And who knows? Like, however many cases.
Around like 20 to 30 per day, and then overnight once they jumped up to 60, and I was like, oh shit. And
so then there was a case now, I think it was like 200 people had a beach party in New South Wales, and then all those people got infected. It's like again, there's the people that are protesting and the people that haven't partied. There's the minority that is ruining it for everyone else who are literally sitting at home going insane, like just insane. So it's unbelievable how stupid
dumb.
people are. But it's not even, if you park all that to one side, they are literally saying, no, I'm not going to stay at my house and just chill in my fucking luxury. I'm going to go out and do whatever the fuck I want, fuck you guys, and ruin it for everyone else. Like, it is privilege. And it's terrible because, like, there's other countries where they just they're fucked, basically. When you look at, like, India running out of oxygen, they couldn't put people on ventilators because they had no oxygen to give them. And then you've got people that are like, I can't deal with this because I need to go to the beach with my friends, my 200
People
close
in
friends.
India also couldn't really
Yup.
bury the people who were dying, and they were throwing them off bridges to get rid of the bodies
So-
into the waterway.
And without, we don't want to go too dark, all right? But
Yeah, we did get pretty dark.
No, we got a little dark. But so, Gravy, I'm going to ask you in particular, all right? But they recently had to bring in a curfew in New South Wales. Melbourne's already got a curfew, but they had to bring in a curfew in New South Wales because they found a number of men exercising in a park at 2 a.m.
Exercising.
What sort of exercise do you reckon they were doing?
I don't want to answer to that question.
No, answer it.
I can imagine.
We're getting the heart rates up.
They were getting their heart rates up, working on
they
that
probably-
wrist
they probably-
motion.
They probably found these guys, and all the guys were wearing Apple Watches, and they checked their Apple Watches, and the Apple Watches were like, "You were engaging in intense exercise at 2 a.m."
They're getting their wrist motions in, They need to exercise their hips.
Exercising their neck and facial muscles.
There is
Yup.
just when you think
Can you just imagine being a cop, you pull up to a fucking park during lockdown and you see just 4 guys in their mid-40s blowing each other?
I saw a clip and it was. I mean, I don't want to imagine that, and I've heard stories, but we'll save it for another podcast. No, but I saw a clip because the rule is, for the most part, is you can go outside, but you have to wear your mask and you can exercise for 2 hours, and you don't go too far from your home. Right? There was a clip of a cop on a horse, like horseback cop, pulling up to a park, and just there was all these people having picnics, claiming to have exercise where they're sitting down eating, and he's just literally riding his horse through a wall, telling them to fucking go home.
That is just fucking so dumb, dude.
Exercise though, fucking
So-
idiots.
And make sure everyone to tune in next week to see how further we descend into lockdown madness.
Oh yeah. Like I said, the longer it goes, the more crazy I'm gonna be. All crazy.
Yeah.
So bad.
All right, so
What?
speaking of that,
Okay.
so recently we're our mask mandate that's gone back. You have to wear them.
Yeah, you
So-
got delta pretty good. Yeah.
So my work is like, if you were vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask, but if you're not vaccinated, you don't have the option. So you have to wear a mask.
Okay, but
Now-
that is still so dumb though.
Yeah, it's
Because
not
here's the
right.
thing: just because you're vaccinated, it doesn't mean a vaccine doesn't make you fucking immune to everything. You can still carry
Mhm.
the virus around.
Well, that's what they're saying
You
about
know?
the vaccines now with Delta is if you get vaccinated, which Eladi and I are fully vaccinated, and you catch Delta, it doesn't mean you're not going to get sick. It just makes the symptoms not as bad.
There's people in New South Wales who are vaccinated and sick right now.
Yeah.
So.
There's
Yeah,
some people
for
in
sure,
America
that's
as
gonna
well who are
happen.
now
But yeah,
going
anyway,
to get
Norstar,
their dose,
continue
so-
your story. We just wanted to let you know that it's dumb from the beginning.
Nah, I'm over it.
It's the whole thing's fucking stupid. Just do as you're told. Sit at home, play some games and shit, whatever.
I fucking hate
Literally.
the mask.
I hate masks,
We've
but
already-
also
I
we've
have
already
masks
proved
as
that they
well,
don't
but-
work, but we still have to wear.
nothing works. That's the whole point. Everything just lowers the chances of it. That's it. But you know what? The absolute best way to protect yourself from all the shit outside is don't go outside. Just
Stay
fucking
home.
stay
Yeah.
home. If you have to go to
Or
work,
just
go to work, do your 9 to 5, and fuck off out of there as soon as you can.
jerk off in the fucking park with your mates at 2 a.m.
No, invite your
Right?
no, don't invite your mates over. Don't worry about it. Look, it's
Yeah, that's a good idea.
anyway. I'm mindful of time. We need to wrap this up. We went down a real rabbit hole there.
Yeah, we
Um,
did.
Make sure you check out our sponsor, Raid Shadow. No, that's.
Before we go, I would like to speak of my list that I compiled.
Oh yeah. We got time for a list. Let's go.
So I made a list of my top 10 favorite Australians that I know.
I hope.
And
I hope
Oh hell yeah! Am I on there?
Australians.
Oh,
Oh.
sorry.
I hope they're listening. We
That's
should get
just
them.
that's just as bad as your Melbourne.
I hope Steve Irwin made it.
Fun fact, but I'll get to that at the end. So this is the list is in chronological, okay?
Okay.
Of importance. All right,
Yes.
so number 1 is Cupcake, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Number 2 is Goose. And number 3 is Anna.
Willen
number
is only
4
one Australian
We're
though.
right here.
What?
I'm waiting for
Will
us
is
to go off
Italian.
on this list. We're at 3. We're not mentioned.
He's Australian. He's just Australian Italian.
Yeah, no, he's Italian.
He's from Australia.
No, he's not. He's Italian.
Oh, he's from Australia.
What are you talking about now? What are you guys bickering over?
Goosebumps.
his bloodline is Italian. But
Yeah, no, he's
Australian.
Italian, but he lives in Australia.
He's
Yeah,
Australian.
but that makes him Italian.
We call
my
him.
He's
bloodline is
Australian. He's
Welsh,
an
so
Australian
Welsh as
Italian.
well.
It's a thing.
Look, we don't want to go down this whole rabbit hole. Let's park it in there. But there's,
Anyway, speaking of the British Italian. Anyway, number 4 is
Italian.
Tash. Number 5 is Alati.
Hey,
And number 6 is Shelby.
How the fuck does he rank higher than me? We're like the same person. Why can't it be equal?
Wait, if I go on the fishing trip, I'm taking him, not you.
I can in the fish for friendship.
hey.
And, so she's number 6, and then there are 5 names between Shawnee, Jelly, Boydo, and Prats and Frog, but there's only 4 spots left, so I'll let them argue about it.
They can do a battle royale.
Oh, and honorable mention is Iggy Azalea.
Oh, no, she's basically American at this point.
It depends which way she's facing.
That's true.
It's true. We all know. She knows it. Fuck's sake.
She just made a new album. Your queen is back.
Oh god.
I don't even know who the fuck you're talking about, I'll be honest with you.
Oh, Google the picture and then thank us later. Let's wrap this thing up here. Let's give ourselves a plug. Shelby, he's going to start with you.
You can find me on Twitter under ShellBunny_ on Twitch as ShellBunny or ShellBunny94 on TikTok.
Yeah, and something we'll probably cover in another episode is Shelby's been playing a game called Road 96. Don't sleep on it. Give it a go. It's a great fucking game. It's a choose your own adventure, procedurally generated fucking awesome game. Coming out
on
both
Steam.
on Steam and Switch.
Switch is October 8th. It's not released yet, except for digitally.
Digitally, we'll do.
Yeah.
Yes. Norstar.
Norstar on Twitch, Norstar TV, everywhere else. I just want to make a quick statement that Gordon Ramsay has 5 kids, right?
I
So
know.
he likes at least one thing wrong.
That is actually very, very true. That logic cannot be flawed.
Gravy. Where can people find you? I'm just gonna leave
Gravy
that.
LP or www.onlyfans.com/GravyLP.
Fuck off!
Now
You have your
remember,
own OnlyFans.
Get your
No, I
subs
don't.
now before they take away nudity in October.
God, that's another great topic.
Yup.
Although a lot of people are like that probably won't happen. So it's probably good to sleep on that for a couple weeks and see if they're gonna go through with the threat. Again, it could be big brain marketing.
Yeah, it could be. Be
Um,
like, you know what? Let's get people talking about it.
exactly. Get that podcast.
100%.
Make sure you're following ZLBpodcast on Twitter. We are looking for guests, so if you're listening and be like, oh man, I'd love to chat to Norstar and tell him what's wrong with America, good luck to you. You're welcome to come and try.
I would love that, actually.
Yeah, I bet you would.
Bring it on.
But yeah, let us know. Same thing, if you've got questions or topics and stuff like that you'd love us to cover, let us know. We're always looking for stuff. We have our own list of topics, but man, if you saw it, you'd be questioning a lot of things. So yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week with more podcasts, probably in lockdown. So thanks.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
probably.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh,
We got number 5.
fuck you.
Bye, kiddo.